Welcome to state championship soccer here on this Saturday morning. We're getting ready for the 4A girls championship game between the Florence High Lady Eagles and the Bay High Lady Tigers on this Saturday morning. In this matchup today, you have Coach Jeff Bosarge leading Bay High into the game against Florence. And I'm Travis Raycheck, joined by CJ Winship this morning. And CJ, tell me a little bit about Bay High. We're looking at their star player right there. Jordan Duncan kind of makes it all go for them.
Well, Jordan Duncan's actually just signed with the University of South Alabama. She is the leading scorer for Bay High. And so today, she'll look to do her thing once again.
And when we're talking about the Florence Lady Eagles, it starts with head coach Gray Massey. Been around the area coaching soccer for a long time, finally got a title last year, and he is back for another one today. CJ, he's got a pretty special player as well in senior Haley Dixon.
Yeah, Haley Dixon is some of the best talent to come out of the North this year. She's signed with Hines Community College, and this is her last day playing high school soccer as well, so she's got something to prove.
So we are about set for the start of the 4A girls state championship soccer match here at Clinton High School. When we return from the break, we will have live action for you here on the Mississippi High School Sports Network.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the MHSAA network, go to MISSAA.TV/SBP.
Welcome back. We are just about set for the start of the 4A girls state championship soccer match. The Florence High Lady Eagles out of the north taking on the Bay High Lady Tigers out of the south here in Class 4A. Once again, I'm Travis Raycheck on the call, joined by CJ Winship, who is a Mississippi State soccer player and played quite a bit here on the high school scene in Mississippi, and you have the championship game experience. Tell me a little bit about what these girls are feeling right now in the biggest game probably they've played in.
Well, right now, all that's going through these girls' head is that ring. Both teams, that's probably all they see. There's nerves, but since the ball's been kicked off now, it should be gone.
All right, Florence starts with the possession, quickly back over to Bay High. Jordan Duncan there operating in the middle. We know that she is the one that kind of makes it go. She will get it into the middle of the field. Knocked out there by Kayla Anderson. Ball goes out, so Florence will have a throw-in from the far sideline. They are in the red tops with the red shorts. Bay High in the white jerseys with the blue shorts. Once again, the ball goes out. This time it will go to Bay High. It is a gray morning here. The rain has let up a little bit. It's definitely been an issue last night when the state championship weekend started here, and is expected to be an issue again as we get going through the rest of the day. But right now the rain has let up here for the start of this game, and Florence with the penetration deep, and the kick on goal is tipped over. The shot there by Dawn Campbell, but on the save for Bay High is Kendall Adam. And CJ, tell me a little bit about that. An early opportunity, a ball that kind of just floated up there slowly.
Yeah, those are one of the hardest types of balls to catch for goalkeepers, because anytime it's in the air, it's harder for a girls goalkeeper in specific to judge the ball. Having to knock it over the bar is probably actually a good thing for her, since she's now got her first touch on the ball early on in the game.
And off the corner kick, Florence with another chance. That ball was centered in by Kayla Anderson and then headed out past the goal. So Bay High will get a goal kick here. So some quick chances there early on for Florence. Is that important to get a goalkeeper involved early on so they're not kind of stagnant back there? You get into the flow of the game?
Definitely, especially with all the nerves that come with this game. The sooner you can touch the ball, really it's in your best interest because you kind of get a feel for it. And also the nerves go out as soon as you touch that ball the first time.
Once again, Florence has the ball in Bay territory. And once again, it is Adams working along the near side of the field. Kicked out there by Jenna Duncan for Bay. So another throw-in coming for Kayla Anderson, the sophomore here for Florence.
Throw-in by number 8, Kayla Anderson for the Eagles.
Ball will be touched back out to Anderson. And then played from there by Morgan Sandifer. Gets into a little tussle with Michelle Stringer for Bay, so that will result in a free kick coming up here for Florence.
And Travis, I feel like you're going to see a lot of physical play out of all of the teams that play in these games today. It just means a ton to them. They're not going to give up anything easy.
Okay. Give me a little explanation of what just happened here. Off the free kick, the ball is played in, and it looks like we're going to get a free kick or
we're
getting a penalty kick.
We're getting a PK.
We're getting a penalty kick.
PK early on could it could be either really bad or really good for both teams. Obviously, if Florence scores, they get up. Bay High has something to look forward to as they try to catch back up. But depending on what the teams feel like, this could be a bad thing.
Mackenzie Northington buries it in the left side of the goal off the penalty kick, and less than 4 minutes into the game, the Florence Lady Eagles have scored and taken the lead early on in this one. First of all, take me through the penalty kick, how she was able to beat the goalie who guessed right on that.
Yeah, with PKs, the goalkeeper automatically is put at a down spot because you're not supposed to get the ball as a goalkeeper. The forward has all the advantage. There's really no advantage that the goalkeeper does have. So even if you guess right, if they put it in that corner, you're not getting it.
Once again, Florence quickly on the attack the other way. And I guess if we go back to what was the free kick that was played right in front of the goal, and it was a penalty in the box that led to the penalty kick, correct?
Correct.
So a huge early break for the Lady Eagles as they get the PK. Mackenzie Northington buries it. Or excuse me, that was Victoria Burnham that put it in the goal and gives them the early 1-0 lead. So now Bay High with the ball in close to the Florence zone. Once again, it will come out, tracked down and kicked forward ahead by Laurel Reebok, out of bounds, so a throw-in coming for Bay and number 7, Amanda Salome.
Number 7, Amanda Salome, brilliant.
Both teams battling for the ball there. It's going to be knocked out of bounds. So deep down in the Bay zone, it will be another throw-in coming for Kayla Anderson and Florence. And so far, in the first 6 or so minutes of this game, the ball has kind of lived down there on the Bay side of the field, and they're already trailing. Once again, played up deep in by Morgan Sandifer. Bay will let that go out and set up a goal kick. We want to take another look at the penalty kick right there. There it was, Victoria Burnham going mid-level to the left side and able to beat the sprawled-out keeper, Kendall Adam. Dawn Campbell there working for Florence as the ball is knocked out of bounds, so it will result in a throw-in. Kayla Anderson been very busy on that left side of the field for the Lady Eagles so far. She plays it in deep. That one will be knocked out by Florence, so another goal kick coming up for Bay High. What have you seen so far? Because we've seen the ball, CJ, live kind of on the Bay side of the field. It seems like Florence has been on the attack most of the time.
Yeah, like you said, it has lived on that half. That's got to be, you know, confidence building for Florence. But I would go as far as to say that Bay High has done an excellent job with their back line, keeping the ball out of the net. One thing that I would be really cautious about is the Florence goalkeeper getting stagnant, because one of the worst things in the world for a goalkeeper is to not touch the ball. And so far she hasn't had much action, so hopefully she's keeping her head in the game and getting ready for if she has to touch the ball.
That's Elena Turner in goal for Florence, and she may get her first opportunity here as Jordan Duncan comes down the far side of the field for Bay. Chasing that ball, it will go out, result in a corner kick coming up here for Bay, so maybe their first real opportunities. They quickly get it to Duncan. Duncan centers it to the middle of the field, and there is Turner on the stop right there. And CJ, most teams will set the ball, they'll set a formation on the corner kick, but Bay went real quick there and just got it into Duncan right away.
Yeah, that's a really good strategy, because like you said, most teams do set up formations. So if you can get the ball off fast on a corner kick, you're looking to catch the defense off their heels. So hopefully that you can create a scoring opportunity before they even know the ball's in.
So now we come back the other way. Lindy Tabor chasing the ball out of bounds, and it will result in a throw-in coming for Bay. Once again here, these state championship games played at Clinton High School. It's an artificial surface, field turf, and CJ, we were kind of talking about it earlier. The field turf already is fast, and then you throw in, wait, here's a scoring chance for Florence. Off the post. The kick there by Dawn Campbell went cross-field, hit the near post, and then ricochets out of bounds. That was a quick but very close opportunity to take a real big lead early on.
Yeah, definitely. You're saying your prayers in the goal right now if that's you. That was some pretty good combination play that Bay High School just set forth. If they continue to do that kind of stuff, I see them creating more scoring opportunities.
Bay High with the throw-in. Will be kicked near midfield by Anderson. Track down there for Florence. It's Tabor. Yeah, a little bit of shove there, but ball knocked out of bounds, so it will result in a Bay High throw-in. Again, really only one shot on goal so far for Bay in this first half. We're just over 10 minutes into the game. There's Duncan once again trying to make something happen. Ball is tracked down by Haley Furlon and then knocked out of bounds, so Florence will regain possession.
That was a beautiful service.
Played back into the keeper area, picked up by Elena Turner. She'll kick it out to midfield. Anderson will knock it over her head. She'll play it up to Allie Sullivan. Sullivan plays it a little too far. It will go out of bounds, result in a goal kick for Bay. Once again, we're here for the 4A Girls State Championship soccer match. It is the Florence Lady Eagles out of the north taking on the Bay High Lady Tigers out of the south. And we had some early action in this one in case you're just tuning in, and we apologize for some of the technical difficulties, but off a free kick, Florence was able to get a penalty kick that resulted in a Victoria Burnham goal on the PK, and that has Florence on top 1-0 with just over 28 minutes remaining here in the first half of the 4A girls state championship soccer match. And here comes the throw in from Anderson, controlled by Salome, and she'll knock it out. So once again, Florence with the throw in. This time it'll be Reebok from just past midfield. The whistle that time on Florence, so it results in a free kick for Bay. It's played up to Duncan. Duncan will control near midfield and then lob it down the center. Played forward. Turner is going to try and come out and make a play. The ball is still live, kicked near the goal, and then I don't know if that was exactly what she was going for, but effective enough to get it out there. Reebok, the defender, forced into a goalkeeper mode there as Turner had come out to make a play on it. She didn't get a good foot on it, but got enough to deflect it out of bounds, so it results in a corner kick here for Bay. Ball played low and hard into the middle of the field. Punched out, so Florence on the counter. It's played up to Dawn Campbell and then knocked out by Bay there, so both teams will regroup.
Florence Blackline did an excellent job. As the goalkeeper came out, the two center backs dropped behind her. That's exactly what you want to do in that situation, and so definite kudos for them for doing exactly what they needed to.
And I guess that's something you work on. If the goalkeeper is going to take that risk and try and make the play a little bit farther away from net, she needs reserves in case something like that happens where she doesn't get her hands on it.
Definitely, and there's also got to be a lot of communication back there, because if the back line's not communicating with their goalkeeper, she has no clue that they're there. She'll be more hesitant to not come off of her line. If she doesn't come off of her line, that goal is really big and she's really small.
Teams kind of trading back and forth here. Out of bounds plays near midfield. Once again, the throw in for Florence. Ball played into the middle and then kicked near midfield. Tracked down there by Anderson for Florence and then headed up towards Duncan. Duncan will operate from here. She's got a 1-on-3. She's going to hold up a little bit. That one is deflected off Reebok. It will be another corner kick upcoming for Bay. So another scoring opportunity. They were a little slow to start, but Bay has kind of picked it up here and had some chances in the last few minutes.
Florence is definitely going to want to stop playing the ball out of off the back line so much. Corner kicks are a key scoring opportunity, and if they give up enough, chances are there's going to be a goal result off of one of these.
That one knocked out of bounds, so Haley Furlon will throw in once again. She will get it into Duncan. Duncan will turn, still maintains control, centers it. Florence able to get it out from there, kicked free by Allie Sullivan for a minute, but played back in. And then back out, Katie Carpenter to midfield. Corralled there by Salome for Bay. Salome still working to get free. And
even though that was
whistled.
an unpopular call for Bay High School, that was actually a really good eye by the center ref. Definitely a foul in there, and yeah, phenomenal call.
So once again, that will set up a free kick for Florence. Victoria Burnham will take it, the one who scored the goal on a penalty kick earlier here in the first half. Burnham will play it into the middle, headed out by Bay, so will result in a corner kick coming up for Florence. And it looks like going into the corner to take it for the Lady Eagles will be Haley Dixon. We haven't called her name much. We singled her out at the beginning of the game. She can have an impact here. Plays it high into the middle and actually left untouched to curve out of bounds. So Bay will get the goal kick from there. What's the main strategy you're looking for on the corner kicks? Because we've seen on each side, some play it low and a little harder. That one was kind of lofted a little deeper towards the net.
It's going to depend on the personnel that you have. Some teams like to float the ball in the air and try to get a header on the ball, maybe even possibly a volley. I would say that's probably your best chance of scoring. Some teams like to play it low and just tap it in. It really just depends on the personnel that you have and the type of finishers.
Throw in coming for Bay as they're once again moving their way down the field. Courtney Seitz working the far side right now. She will throw in for the Lady Tigers. She works it up to Duncan. Duncan will turn, make a move. Duncan has a little bit of space to work with in there and then plays it over the top of the net. I will say this. Duncan has gotten out of a lot of situations that kind of shows her ball skills to where she can operate in traffic.
Definitely. Florence is going to need to do a little bit better job of marking her tight because she is getting these shots off. And, you know, even though they're not on target yet, chances are they're going to get on target if she keeps taking these shots. But she's definitely got an extremely strong body, and she's going to be able to push people off. So Florence defense is going to really have to step it up if they want to stay scoreless.
And speaking of that, Reebok right there, who's marking Duncan right now, heads it out of bounds, jumped in front of her to prevent her from taking possession there. So the throw in coming from Salome into Duncan. They got two girls on her there. Anderson helps get it away, and then Dixon controls, but it is regained by Michelle Stringer. So the back and forth continues. Play deep into the goalie area. Turner will let it go free, and last touch by Bay, so Florence will get the goal kick coming up. And we were about to touch on a little bit earlier before Florence had a scoring opportunity, but tell me a little bit about the surface, the differences playing on an artificial field and a wet artificial field in these instances.
An artificial turf is going to be really fast to begin with. Since it's been raining just a little bit, it hasn't been a downpour, but since it's been raining and the turf is wet, the ball's going to move really fast. It's going to move a lot faster than these girls are used to playing on regular grass. It's going to move even faster than they're used to if they play on turf regularly, because wet turf, honestly, as a goalkeeper, you don't want wet turf. But as a forward, as a midfielder, if you can time the ball right, you can play past the defense and create numerous scoring opportunities.
So as we reach the midway point here of the first half, Florence remains on top 1-0. They got a penalty kick in the 4th minute of the game, an opportunity put in by Victoria Burnham, so they're holding on to that 1-0 lead. And hold on to possession right here in Bay territory. The throw in coming from Reebok.
Throw in for the Lady Eagles.
Once again, ball knocked out of bounds. This time it will be Kayla Anderson setting up on the throw in. And again, quickly knocked out. So same situation. Anderson working it into the middle of the field. That time, Dawn Campbell ricochets it off a Bay defender. It'll go out and result in another corner kick coming up for Florence. Haley Dixon will go into the corner this time to take the kick. Dixon, we spotlighted her at the beginning of the game, one of the top athletes for this Florence team. Signed with Hines Community College to go play soccer there. Extremely talented, has a chance here as she lofts it right into the front of the goal and headed over. That, CJ, to me, that looked like an ideal ball played out of the corner.
Yeah, it definitely is. That was a great service. Even connected with one of her teammates, but unfortunately, it does matter where on your head the ball makes contact. So it looks like she hit that one with the top of her head, which is going to send it over the goal. Maybe if she could get it just a little more down on her forehead, it might have went in.
Once again, off the goal kick played and controlled there for a second by Campbell for Florence, and then knocked out of bounds by Blake Fillingame of Bay. And we have our first injury on the field here with just under 18 minutes to go. As we look down there, it looks like it is Allie Sullivan for Florence that is down on the field right now. We have an opportunity here in this break in action. CJ, I wanted to ask you about Coach Gray Massey for Florence. We were talking a little bit before the game about how he's been around and he's been in a lot of big games before, but last year he finally got over the top and then now has another chance to win a title today.
Yeah, definitely. I've played under Coach Gray a few times, and he's trained me a little bit in the goal. His team is pretty much consistently making it to this game, and unfortunately they were consistently coming in second. But last year he finally got his first ring. He was really excited after the game. He probably wore that big goofy smile across his face for close to a month. So now he's looking to get his second in a row and his second of all time.
Looks like Sullivan is walking off on her own power. In place of her, Riley Sullivan will come in. And we are back to live action. Florence controlling deep in Bay territory. Lindy Tabor working against Merritt Berea. Berea able to knock it out of bounds, so it'll result in a throw-in over there. Katie Carpenter will get it in for Florence. Now played into the middle of the field from there. A nice touch from Campbell, but leads Tabor just a little too much, so it'll go out. Goal kick coming for Bay. CJ, outside of that first opportunity, the goal right off the bat, it seems fairly evenly matched since then on both sides.
Yeah, it's amazing what going down a goal will do to a team, both positively and negatively. Bay High seems to have stepped it up quite a bit, and that's causing a lot of issues for Florence. I look for it to be pretty evenly matched throughout the rest of the game. So these little these opportunities that both teams are getting on goal, they're going to want to really capitalize.
That one played in deep. Kendall Adam comes out, makes the play for Bay, kicks it out to midfield. From there, it is being worked on by Stringer, and then played back into the middle of the field by Reebok. Bay trying to control, set something up. They get it over to Courtney Miller. Miller upfield. Jordan Duncan will have a chance at a touch here. She does. She controls it, and now she goes to work. And as that ball got loose, Stringer took a big shot at it with the left foot, little wide. And CJ, it looked like, I don't know, she get a little antsy there to go ahead and take a strike from that far out.
Yeah, Jordan's really been putting in the work, getting around these players, having these great touches. And I would only imagine that she really wants for her works to be fruitful, so she's trying to get that first goal on for Bay High School.
Now once again the ball loose in Bay territory. Fans wanting a foul called on that one, but the ball will go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Reebok and Florence. Thrown forward and left alone, so it'll go out of bounds once again without being touched. Look down in the corner as Salome will have the toss here. So the state championships got started last night in 3A, 2A, 1A girls action. It was Our Lady Academy 5-0 over Clarkdale. And in the nightcap, the Sacred Heart boys won 3-1 over Philadelphia. So those were the first two state champions crowned this weekend. And then today you have 6 games, a full slate of action here at Arrow Field. It starts with this game, the 4A girls, followed by the 4A boys, 5A girls, 5A boys, and then the 2 6A games coming up tonight. Right now the ball going back and forth between the two, controlled there by Florence, put in the middle of the field. Being tracked down by Savannah Rains and then knocked out from there, will result in a goal kick coming up for Bay. At this point, do you feel like both teams have kind of settled in a little bit? Maybe the nerves of the first few minutes have worn down, and now they're kind of going back to the normal soccer they're used to playing?
Yeah, definitely. Normal, I don't know about normal because the girls definitely are not used to playing in front of this many people. But this is what you're going to see probably from both teams the rest of the day. Nerves should be completely gone, even more so after they've had their halftime break, halftime speeches with their coaches, and gotten to communicate with their teams a little bit.
Salone will come with the throw in for the Lady Tigers. Works it up into a crowd, then gets free to Duncan. And we can kind of get a sense right now that the senior Reebok is going to be the one that's marking Duncan most of the game. She seems to be able to match her size a little bit and some of that physicality.
And as you just saw right there, you're going to have to be physical with her because she's going to be able to get around you as long as you give her some space. As long as you're on her, like you put your body on her somehow, maybe a shoulder, something, that's going to be how you're probably going to be able to stop her.
Quick substitutions there for Florence as Sullivan comes back in the game. She was injured just a few minutes ago, and then also Dawn Campbell re-enters at her forward spot. So Florence slowly working their way up. A couple balls knocked out, a couple of throw-ins. Played into the middle of the field from there. Stringer will turn and work it forward. But knocked out. Reebok from there. Plays it down the field. Little too deep. Is that what we're talking about, maybe where the ball squirts free a little bit because the surface is a little bit faster than the girls are?
Yeah, definitely. Anytime that the ball is served and bounces, it picks up speed off of the bounce, so it gets even faster. So if you start off with a ball that's too fast, you're not going to end up with a ball that gets any slower.
Once again, played forward. Kendall Adam picks it up. She'll get it out into the middle of the field. Teams exchange a few headers there. Controlled now by Florence and Kayla Anderson. Anderson into the middle of the field again. That one just a little too strong for Campbell, who was cutting across to the middle, and Adam will maintain possession. Ball played forward again. Reebok steps up. Uses the left foot, knocks it out of bounds about midfield. Lady Tigers with the throw-in coming from their spot. Now, Bay High reached this point in the playoffs with some pretty dominating wins. They started against Lawrence County, won that game 9-1. In the next round, they played Northeast Jones, and once again won pretty easily, 5-1. Now they're in a battle here as Florence comes down the far side of the field, played into the middle. Good effort there by Campbell, but just couldn't quite hook up with Raines, and Adam comes up with the save. But once again, ball remains down there. Florence trying to extend the lead as they scored on a penalty kick in the 4th minute of the game. But speaking of penalties, a little whistle blown there, so it'll be a free kick coming up for Bay. And back to the Lady Tigers, they qualified for this game by beating Greene County earlier in the week 1-0. So after a couple of blowouts to get the playoffs started, they had to battle and survive to beat Greene County. Only lost 5 times on the year, and 3 of those losses coming against good teams. Here, Duncan gets free in the middle, knocked over, no call. CJ, was that the right call? A no call?
I'm a little bit farther away than the ref is, but I feel like that was actually probably the right call. Soccer is going to be a physical game. It's not if you get hit, but how you get hit that the foul's called, and that looked legal to me.
Coach Bosarge not too happy about it. He was looking for a little bit of a whistle. That ball played in.
Unfortunately, that one wouldn't be called as an offside.
I saw the flag go up.
And that was definitely the right call. She was a good 2 yards offside. But when you're playing the game, there's this many people here, and there's so much hype. That's something that you tend to forget a little bit about. All you see is that goal.
And the Lady Tiger fans definitely celebrated as if it was a goal. But the flag did go up before the shot went off. It was like you said, it was a pretty obvious call. So although Bay puts it in the net, doesn't count, remains Florence on top 1-0. They will get the free kick just outside the 10-yard line here on this field that serves as a football field for Clinton High School as well. So once again, ball goes out of bounds on the far side of the field. Ashley Langham with a throw-in coming for the Lady Eagles. Play it forward. It kind of hugs the sideline there, and then Langham boots it deep crossfield, chased down by Campbell, and then knocked out of bounds. So coming up will be Kayla Anderson, throw-in for Florence. So the team's reset. Ball tossed in from there, controlled for a second by Bay. The turn made by Stringer. Stringer working the middle of the field and has it picked by Dixon. Then played forward from Sullivan to Campbell, but then knocked out once again and then knocked back in. That time we do get a call on the knockdown as Tabor was knocked over. So a big opportunity coming up here for Florence.
Yeah, and honestly, that foul was not smart at all. You never want to give up a foul on a flank in your inside of your third. Also, I don't really see where the advantage would have been gained from the foul. So maybe Bay High is going to need to be a little bit smarter on the back line, a little bit smarter with what kind of fouls they give up.
A little frustration for Bay High. They didn't get the call on their end, and the call does go against them here. So ball sits at the 20. Victoria Burnham will take the free kick. She lays it softly over the front line, but it'll go out. No harm done there. What's usually the strategy on a free kick like that, where you still have a line of defense in front of you, and you know it's not like a corner kick where you can just set up in front of the goal? How do you usually see teams play that?
Well, in the college level of play, you'll usually have plays. You'll have players running off the ball, But in high school level, you're probably just going to try to either lace it to the outside to one of your players or take a shot.
Quickly, Florence comes the other way. Duncan with the ball in the middle of the field. She'll go to work. Centers to the middle, but just a little bit too far to the back. But Bay still with a chance. Kick that time is blocked. Furlong tried to put it on goal. Deflected. Bay chases it down. Once again, Salome will put it in the middle of the field, but knocked free by Sullivan. And the counterattack coming as Tabor with a 2-on-2. She plays it forward, and then we'll try and cross, but couldn't catch up with it. Tabor tried to play it, but knocked it out in front of her a little too far. Results in being knocked out of bounds. That was a pretty exciting sequence right there. First off, the center by Duncan was almost perfect. If she's able to connect with Furlong there, that looked like an easy goal.
Yeah, definitely. And Furlong had excellent field vision, knowing to be on that backside and to be looking for that pass from Jordan Duncan.
Just played past her a little bit, so Florence was able to make the counterattack. They couldn't capitalize on it. So once again, with just over 3 minutes remaining before halftime here in the 4A Girls State Championship match, it is Florence on top of Bay High, 1-0. That goal coming very early on a Victoria Burnham penalty kick.
Caution given to the Lady Tigers.
So once again, whistle blown on Bay High, and I believe a caution was called on them. So the free kick coming from Burnham. She'll play it deep and over, but again, just a little bit too far. Goes untouched and out of bounds. And I guess the key on kicks like that is you have to wait to not go off sides and time it with the ball and the defense to set yourself up.
Yeah, exactly. And it's still the same as I said before. These girls, they're just looking to get the ball in the net. Sometimes it's really easy to forget to stay on sides, especially with free kicks. Because you'll get a lot of teams that'll pull what's called an offside trap. And as soon as the ball is looking like it's about to be hit, they'll step up. You'll be left off sides. It's just a sticky situation for the forwards. So that's something that they have to be mindful of.
Once again, Burnham will have a free kick from back in the Florence zone. She'll leave it upfield. Once again, knocked forward as Kendall Adam will come out and make a rolling stop on it to control it within her keeper zone.
And I think that that type of save that you just saw is evident of how wet the field is. Usually goalkeepers don't really roll over, but with the field being so wet, it is very easy to lose your body position on the ground.
Now, would you play different type of cleats for a surface like this than your normal natural grass?
Probably not for turf. Had this game been played on natural grass and it had been raining, you would want to switch to what's called a soft ground cleat, which is a little bit firmer on the bottom. Sometimes they're even the studs are even made out of metal. But for turf, you're usually going to go with hard ground cleats, which are your normal soft ground soft studs.
Lady Tigers trying to make a quick rally here in the final 2 minutes of the half. See if they can't get an equalizer before they go in for the break.
That was an excellent play. Jordan Duncan used one of the Florence backlines to draw a corner in for her team. That's a very advanced skill that you're not going to see very much in the high school game.
So Furlong here comes in with a quarter kick, plays it to the middle of the field. Can't quite get the shot off on goal. Once again, the ball is cleared out. It looks like we're in extra time right now. So Bay trying to mount something real quickly here before the refs blow the whistle to end the half. So quickly the throw in coming from Kowalski. Knocked out by Anderson, and so Kowalski will get it once again. She'll play it into Duncan. Duncan will control, but that will be the whistle, and that will mean halftime. So after 40 minutes of play and an early penalty kick that resulted in the only goal of the first half, the Florence Lady Eagles lead the Bay High Lady Tigers here at halftime of the 4A Girls Championship game. We'll be right back to take a look back at the first half action and get you ready for the second half here on the Mississippi High School Sports Network.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the MHSAA network, go to MHSAA.tv/SBP.
It is halftime here at Arrow Field in Clinton, Mississippi for the 4A Girls State Championship soccer match. The Florence Lady Eagles lead the Bay High Lady Tigers 1-0. I'm Travis Raychek, joined by CJ Winship. And CJ, the goal was very early on, and it was kind of a freak circumstance that a penalty kick results off a free kick, and then from there it was punched in.
Yeah, definitely. It's a goal, but it's not the kind of goal that you normally think of being a deciding factor in one of these games. One thing that I would say for Florence is that they need to stop giving up so many corners in the backside as well. Bay High needs to start capitalizing on the ones that they do get. And Florence has the other side of the field open, so they need to probably look to switch when they're on offense, to cross it over to the other side. Likewise, Bay High is going to want to stay compact, but also keep an eye on that backside.
The goal coming from Victoria Burnham for Florence to give them this 1-0 lead. We've seen a lot of good play on the other side by Jordan Duncan, the girl we spotlighted earlier. So competitive soccer, 1-0, as Florence leads Bay High in the 4A Girls State Championship soccer matchup. Make sure you stay tuned here on the Mississippi High School Sports Network. The second half is coming up.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the MHSAA network, go to MISSAA.tv/SBP.
We're set for the second half of the 4A Girls State Championship soccer match here as the Florence Lady Eagles lead the Bay High Lady Tigers 1-0. I'm Travis Raychek, joined by CJ Winship here on the broadcast on the Mississippi High School Sports Network. So far we have just one goal. It was scored on a penalty kick by Victoria Burnham in the 4th minute of the game. Since then, both teams have had some pretty good scoring opportunities, neither able to capitalize. CJ, as we go into the second half, what adjustments do you think each side made to approach this final half?
I think that Florence will probably concentrate a little bit more on defense since they already have their goal. Maybe dropping a player back, maybe just switching up your formation a little bit. Bay High is going to want to concentrate, obviously, on a little bit more offense, but they don't want to forget that their defense is back there. A 1-0 lead is a lead, but in soccer terms, it's not very much at all.
So we are all set here for the final 40 minutes. And once again, the rain has held off. It was definitely an issue last night for the two championship games. Expected to be an issue throughout the day here, but right now it is just overcast skies. Conditions are easily playable, and obviously working with an artificial surface doesn't make too much impact with that. So early on, here we go. Bay with the first control, but knocked out of bounds. The kick a little off target by Merritt Berea. So once again, it's Florence in the red tops, in the red shorts, representing the north half of Class 4A. Bay High in the white jerseys, blue shorts, representing the South Division of Class 4A. Ball bounded in the middle of the field. Haley Dixon tries to control, runs into a swarm of white jerseys, but Dixon will come out of the pile. She'll control now on the far side of the field, looking to set something up. Dixon uses the right foot to play it in, and one hops into the arms of Kendall Adam. Adam will get it out, headed there by Sullivan for the Lady Eagles. And then played forward to Jordan Duncan. Jordan Duncan couldn't control it there. Knocked out, it'll be a throw in for Reebok. Once again, Florence trying to create offense down there, but it is taken away and then played over to Michelle Stringer. And then Stringer into the middle of the field a little bit too long, so that will roll into the waiting arms of Elena Turner. Turner hasn't been tested too much for Florence today. Obviously has been able to stop everything that has come her way. So now we have a setup for Burnham to take a free kick right at the center stripe of the field. Burnham will play it over to the left just a little bit, headed into the middle. She was looking for Lindy Tabor, but deflected and knocked away. Florence will control once again. This time it is Anderson along the far side. Anderson has it taken away by Kowalski.
Yeah, that was
Anderson once again fighting for position. Kowalski doing the same. That one kicked out by Kowalski, so it'll be a throw-in coming in for the Lady Eagles.
Throw-in for the Lady Eagles.
Anderson will get it in. It'll be punched out by Jenna Duncan and then played forward up to Stringer. Stringer will clear, get it deep down the field. Duncan's going to make a run at it, also being chased by Ashley Langham, and Langham doesn't want any part of it, so she'll just kick it out.
Probably a better option there would have been to play her keeper back, something that you don't see too much in high school, but when you do see it, it's a really good option. Just playing your keeper back there would have kept possession as opposed to giving that throw in deep in the middle third or in the final third.
So the throw in coming from Amanda Salome for Bay High as they set their formation, trying to work it into Duncan. Ball played again into the middle of the field, then touched that time by Northington, but too high and to the left. So the first opportunity of the second half comes for Bay High. They can't capitalize, and they still trail. It's 1-0, Florence on top after the penalty kick goal in the first half. That time, Stringer will play it up. Duncan will give chase, and then Reebok knocks it out and up to Anderson. Anderson now with a little bit of space to work with if she can. And now it's Haley Dixon. Haley Dixon will track down the ball along the sideline. Play it forward and then kicked out there by Berea.
Haley Dixon just showed us an excellent example of her speed on and off the ball, running basically probably around 60 yards full speed. That takes a lot out of you, and to be able to keep her composure at the same time is a very big deal.
So the ball being knocked back and forth. Played in close there and then controlled by Northington and kicked out upfield. Is fatigue at all a factor as we get later into this game? This is the final game of the season, so there's nothing else to hold it back for. But then again, they have played an entire season. As Duncan gets free, creates an opportunity off the post. Jordan Duncan set up Michelle Stringer, and she knocks it off the post. Another chance there. Stringer once again will control and play it out. That one curved over the top of the crossbar. Northington with the left foot had a look at it. Played a nice ball, but just a little bit too high, and that was probably their best chance of the day.
Definitely. They're just going to have to work being connected both physically and mentally on the field, knowing what your player is going to do, knowing when they're going to cross, knowing when they're going to shoot. You're going to have to support them off the ball. So if there is a rebound off the post, or the goalkeeper gives up a rebound, or maybe there's even a pass, you know what to do with it because you're thinking that far ahead of the play.
That's the second time we've seen a ball bang off the post. In the first half, it was Florence had an opportunity to go up 2-0 when they just missed, and then that time Duncan the cross to Stringer, had a great look at it, but just off the outside of the post. So once again, Northington will throw in. Duncan controls. That time it is tapped away by Riley Sullivan. Sullivan just coming into the game for Katie Carpenter a few moments ago. So we've got a throw in coming for Salome. Getting in the middle, ball headed high. And then Sullivan tries to knock it over. Still in play, still deep down in there. Duncan fighting for position. Ball loose and a collision as Turner comes up with it. And CJ, you talked about it. You were forecasting a little physical play here in the second half, and we're seeing it early.
Yeah, definitely, because both of these teams got this far. They've played so many games. They've played their regular slate. They've had their preseason. They've had their postseason. It is heartbreaking to get this far and to get second place. So these girls, as the game goes on, they're going to scrap and they're going to pull for every single thing that they can get, because there is no after this game for some of these girls, especially for the seniors. Like, this is it. You want to walk off with the ring. You want to walk off with the gold medal. Second place, it's good, but in the moment, it's not good enough.
And it is getting a little chippy out there, a little shoving going on. And again, we still have 30 minutes left, so looks like we're geared up for an entertaining last half hour of this game. The ball knocked out, so right now Florence, with their 1-0 lead, will have a throw-in coming up. Played forward to Allie Sullivan, then knocked out of bounds once again, so it'll be Burnham taking a free kick as the whistle was blown there. Burnham will leave it in the middle of the field. Morgan Sandifer, a touch upfield. Controlled, though, by Furlon and Bay. Tapped back once again across into the middle of the field. That one a little too hot. It will shoot through the back end. So Florence will set up for a goal kick. As we look at the Lady Eagles and the season that they've had to get here, once they got to the playoffs, they beat Amory, they beat Corinth, and then they went on the road on Tuesday and beat Germantown 2-0, the first-year program for the Lady Mavericks out there. And in that game, it was Victoria Burnham with a goal helping them win. She's the one who put it in net earlier today. Also, Lindy Tabor had a goal in that 2-0 win over Germantown that got them into this championship game. And here comes Florence. It is Allie Sullivan working along the far side of the field. She will play it up and a little bit too far for Don Campbell. That will go out of bounds and set up a throw-in for the Lady Tigers. The first throw-in is knocked out, so once again, move it up the field about 10 yards, and another throw-in coming for Bay High. Once again, knocked out of bounds, so you move it up the field about 20 yards. I guess it's one way to change field possession a little bit. Ball played over by Berea into the middle of the field. Florence trying to clear and get it upfield. They do. They've got it into the hands, onto the feet of Lindy Tabor. Tabor working down the middle of the field, has a little bit of room to work, takes a shot on goal off the top crossbar, and then back down into the field to play. Another really close scoring opportunity.
Let me tell you, Kendall Adam has been extremely, extremely fortunate with having the crossbar and the two posts with her. Seem to be on her side a little bit.
That was a great shot on goal. But here comes a chance. Duncan gets free and then is whistled off sides on Bay High. She's pleading her case, but the flag came up. CJ, is that the right call?
That one was extremely close. Though I do like to side with the refs on most of them. I don't think she was offside on that one. But unfortunately, he has the last say, and I don't. So guess it's offside.
So Florence now with another chance. Once again, it is Tabor trying to create. She's the one that just had the shot, a high, hard one that sailed over the top of Adam, but just square banged the crossbar and then came back into the field of play. Would have been a huge goal to put Florence up 2-0. Instead, that one goal difference remains here with just over 27 minutes remaining in the second half of this 4A girls state championship match. Duncan will create. She'll pass it back out to Furlon, who tries to center it, but just a little bit too far as Stringer was giving chase. So Elena Turner will hold on to possession, and she will boot it out. Haley Dixon now with the ball, plays it forward along the far side, but she'll knock it out of bounds, looking for Don Campbell streaking down the sideline. As we get farther and farther into this second half, CJ, does the mindset begin to change for Bay as they look for that equalizer? Do they press a little bit more?
Yeah, definitely. As you get further along in, that one on the scoreboard that Florence has starts to matter less and less and less, because if you don't go ahead and you put more offense up, a 2-0 loss is the exact same thing as a 1-0 loss. So you're going to start to take more chances on defense and on offense. You're going to probably leave less players back on defense, push a little bit more up on offense, and Florence is going to have to really expect that. So they're going to have to drop more defenders back, which will mean that they don't have quite as much offense. Right here, I like to cheer for the underdog. So Bay High definitely has the advantage in my point, because from here on out they kind of determine the formations that they use. But they are going to want to try to push a little bit more up offense. They're going to want to try to get that equalizer and then try to pull ahead.
So right now the ball knocked out of bounds. Bay High coming up with a throw-in for Coach Jeff Bosarge's girls, as he's been very active down there on the sidelines pretty much all morning long. This one thrown deep across the far side, then played into the middle of the field. Cutting across is Northington. She will try to control, but has it knocked away by Sullivan for Florence. Then once again knocked out by Bay and played forward. Stringer will give chase, but back there is Ashley Langham for Florence. She will just knock it out of bounds. And quickly, the Lady Tigers move ahead. Get it into Duncan. Duncan working on Langham, who allows the ball to go out, so that will create a corner kick opportunity coming up here for the Lady Tigers. It's going to be it's going to be Haley Furlon who will take this corner. Plays it into the middle of the field. Ball is loose. Northington will corral it, but she can't put a shot on goal. So quickly the other way. Florence with an opportunity now. There's a tie-up between Dixon and the defender. Penalty resulting on Bay High, so Lady Eagles will now get the free kick from just at the 45. It will be Burnham taking it. Played in the middle, then a handball by Dixon, so quickly back the other way for Bay High. As Berea plays it up to Stringer. Stringer will give chase as the ball gets loose. Now it's a foot race. Stringer on Langham, and Stringer will get it to Duncan. Duncan now. See if she can create. She'll play it to the middle of the field. Headed out, back to Duncan. Duncan still with a chance. Duncan knocked down, and there is a foul called. Now this matters where they called it, and it's right outside the box, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely right outside the box, and it was very, very close to being a PK. As I said earlier in the first half, Florence has got to stop giving out these free kicks no matter where they're at, and these fouls are going to come back to haunt them if they're not really careful. But right now, it's looking like Bay High is starting to get on a roll, so I would be extremely careful and hope that my back line was completely solid with Florence.
Stringer takes the kick, plays it high and just over the top of the goal. It was over the top of Turner and over the top of the net. So another opportunity missed right there for Bay High. I mean, a matter of inches of where that foul is called and where you get that penalty.
Definitely, and the players do have quite a bit of say, if you will, in where the foul gets called, because especially if you watch like these professional level teams, you can dive however far that you want to as soon as you get hit. I'm not saying it's not a foul, but you pretty much can control where your body hits, and if you make that line really fuzzy for the ref, sometimes you can get a few extra yards on your fall, which I think is what Jordan was trying her best to do. And honestly, if I was the ref, I probably would have made the wrong call right then.
Another ball played deep in, and Duncan just going to battle with Reebok on that one. Reebok will let it go out of bounds, even though it results in another corner kick and another opportunity coming up for the Lady Tigers. It is Furlon going to get her girls in place as she gets set to make the kick. Plays it into the middle. Knocked out by Dixon. Charging from the backside, though, the ball kicked way too high there, and once again, out of bounds.
As a goalkeeper, when you see a player approaching a ball like she just did, fortunately for her, it went over, but that is one of the scariest things that you can feel, because you know that there's going to be a lot of force behind that ball, and you're hoping that you can get your hands or some part of your body behind it, or it either goes over the goal.
And how hard is that as a keeper in a situation where there's so many people in front of you as far as your vision and seeing exactly where that ball is going to come from?
It's extremely hard, because you have to kind of alternate your positioning, maybe to something that's not necessarily the best strategically, but you have to be able to see that ball. So whereas you may be, your stance may be a little bit lower, you may be having to bend your knees a little bit more than you feel comfortable with, Sometimes you have to compromise that position to be able to see the ball, and that can end up putting you in a really sticky situation when it comes to making the save.
So Turner was lucky on that big kick from Fillingham that it went high and over the post. So once again, under 20 minutes remaining, Florence is holding on to their 1-0 lead. It has been scoreless since the 4th minute of action. It's that time Allie Sullivan plays it out of bounds. It's going to be a throw-in coming for Bay back in their own end. It's played up to Kowalski. Kowalski, though, unable to keep it in bounds. So Anderson now for the Lady Eagles will have the throw in. Knocked back out to her. Knocked back out of bounds. So we'll reset, do that all over again. Now, is there any strategy for Florence to take a little bit of time right now?
Absolutely, and right now Bay High is just handing it to them. Right now the best interest in Bay High would be to keep that ball in play, not to keep putting it out, because you can take as much time as you want to a certain extent to go get the ball. I mean, there's no rule that says that you have to run and go get the ball when it goes out. You can take your time. It's up to the ref to tell you, to caution you if need be, but Bay High wants to keep the ball in play as much as possible right now.
And they'll hustle over to this one as the ball is knocked out of bounds around midfield. Stringer will have a throw, and she'll try and quickly get it up to Duncan. Duncan setting up position, heads it over to Furlong. Furlong, though, has it knocked away, but it's still there in the middle. Back and forth battle, eventually cleared by Reebok for Florence, and then she will just knock it deep down the center of the field and clear. And then Sullivan will do the same. Giving chase is Tabor. And Tabor that time, though, whistled for being offsides. Couple of knockdowns there, and that physical play on both sides remains. So Kowalski will get set up here for the free kick just outside the 35. Now she's going to make way and let the sophomore Berea take it. She plays it low into the middle. Controlled there and then played too far by Salome. Once again, Lady Tigers trying desperately to get on the board and even this game up as we approach 16 minutes remaining here in the second half. Ball headed forward towards Duncan. Duncan will chase it down in the corner. She will go to work on Reebok now. She pushes out to the left side and then pretty much triple team there as Allie Sullivan knocks it free.
Throw in for Bay High, number 7, Amanda Salome.
Salome throws it in. Kicked out by Reebok. Once again, Florence just happy to get it out of their own end of the field, even though Bay
ball for the goalkeeper right here. Those balls are so scary. Let me tell you, because you don't know, especially since it's been raining, you don't know how high it's going to bounce back up, and you don't know if you should go out and get it before it bounces. And plus, you have to take your eye off of the field so you can judge the ball. You don't know who's crashing in on your goal. You don't know where your defenders are. It's a very sticky situation and something that you don't want to happen within the last 15 minutes of the game.
Turner able to come up and make the stop on that. But once again, Bay High continues to attack.
Under 15
That one kicked out of bounds by Burnham. So a throw in coming deep in their end. This time it'll be Northington with the ball. Works it up to Duncan. Duncan can't control it as Sullivan knocks it free and clears the field once again. And then Bay knocks it out, so come back down to the other end of the field. Throw in for Katie Carpenter and Florence. And you can kind of start to see, some of the girls getting a little bit winded here in the second half. It's been a high-paced, pretty physical second half, and we're winding down to crunch time right now. Carpenter plays the ball once again into Tabor. Tabor tries to cross, but it goes out before she can get to it.
Goal kick for Bay High.
Once again, Bay High trying to move quickly there. A couple balls knocked out of bounds, couple of throw-ins coming here. Stringer gets it up to Duncan. Duncan now between two defenders, still able to create a little bit of space, still going to work. Eventually knocked down. Ball comes free and Burnham gets it out of there. And now Salome doing a little one-on-one action. Unable to create any scoring opportunities there, and Florence will get the throw. And we're down to 12:45 remaining in this game. The Florence Lady Eagles lead Bay High 1-0 here in the 4A Girls State Championship soccer match.
You may not be able to see it on your screen right now, but unfortunately Bay High has 2 forwards, sometimes 3, that are camping off sides right now. So even if they start to create scoring opportunities, they're going to want to pull those offensive players back on sides, or all of their hard work is not going to go for anything.
And as we wind down, the rain has restarted here at Arrow Field in Clinton, Mississippi. It was definitely an issue for some of the games yesterday. A lot in the forecast today, and we've been pretty rain-free for most of this game, but the Umbrellas have come back out in the stands with the final 11 minutes left here. Handball that time on Berea, so free kick coming up for Florence. That ball played up and out again. Are we starting to see some of that from Florence, where they're not attacking as much on offense and more of a defensive mode?
Definitely. And as the time winds down, you start to give up hope of getting that second goal, and you start to focus solely on defense. That's probably the best strategical thing to do. But you do have to be extremely careful that that's not all that you're doing, because if all you're doing is playing defense, all the other team's doing is playing offense. And then the score starts to look in their favor.
Florence does have the ball down in the Bay end right now. The throw in coming from Kayla Anderson. She will work it over. It's kicked back out to her. She controls it along the sideline. She'll get it into Campbell. Campbell turns, pushes to the middle. That ball headed just a little wide, still in play. So from there, it is Carpenter. Carpenter back into the middle field. Chance here. Oh, and the opportunity unable to be capitalized on as the ball was sitting in the middle of the field. And Campbell took a swing at it and just couldn't connect. I mean, she simply had a wide open goal there and just couldn't put the foot on it clean.
Yeah, I guarantee you she's going to have trouble forgetting that one for a little while. That was definitely the ball that would have made the score 2-0 here at Arrow Field. Thankfully, they're still up 1-0, but that would have provided a little bit of a cushion on their lead.
That might have been the nail in the coffin. She had a great opportunity as it was crossing to the middle of the field. She cut from the far side and had a swing with the goalie out of place and just couldn't connect solidly with it, just kind of dribbled it out of bounds. So now we have a corner kick upcoming for Bay on their end. The kick being taken by Furlong. Furlong will play it into the middle of the field. Ball was headed there. Another shot. Opportunity. Stringer lays it out. Still can't be cleared. Two really close chances there for Bay off the corner kick.
The rain is going to start to play a huge factor in the game, especially with balls in the air, because obviously you have to look up. But yeah, it's starting to get wet. You can tell the surface is starting to get wet again. Cleats are starting to get wet. Gloves are starting to get wet. So this is fixing to be a major factor in the remaining time that we have left in this game.
That time a foul on Allie Sullivan. So quickly Furlong will set up for the free kick. Just over 8 minutes remaining. Bay High down a goal. Furlong lays it to the middle of the field, and it goes right into the waiting arms of Elena Turner. Turner has done all she's needed to do today to keep the Lady Tigers off the board. Collision there at midfield. That time again the foul called on Sullivan, and again free kick set up for the Lady Tigers. This time it will be Berea who will take it. It'll be played up and over to Anderson for Florence, who's got room to work along the sideline. She will just kick it up, where it'll be tracked down by Jenna Duncan for the Lady Tigers and knocked out. Anderson will take her time setting up the position and gets it over to Campbell. Campbell into the middle of the field and then played out by Berea. Furlong gets it over to Kowalski. Kowalski over to the middle of the field. Duncan trying to track it down. Ball still loose. Duncan has a chance, but the flag goes up. And the opportunity once again denied for Bay High.
Even though there was a flag up, I just wanted to point out Elena Turner's positioning. She came out against Jordan Duncan. Phenomenal decision. She came out, made herself big. That's exactly what you want to do in those kind of positions. Those are scary in themselves, and just knowing, especially with the last 6 minutes on the board, knowing when to do that, how to do it, that is top notch. Definitely a wonderful decision made by the goalkeeper.
And I'm going to imagine Turner's going to have to make a save or two more to preserve this lead. Once again, a free kick set up just outside the 40-yard line for Bay High. They've been pressuring here in the last 10 minutes. Still haven't come up with a chance, but they've got it again. Salome will try to control. She can't. But once again, Berea will play it, but it is too far ahead of the pack. Will go out and result in a goal kick for Turner and the Lady Eagles.
Bay High's going to want to be really careful about wasting opportunities that they have left late in the half. That shot was taken pretty far out and obviously not really on frame. I would like to see Bay hold the ball more, maybe pass it around, do a little bit of possession, and create a shot on goal.
Well, and every time you do that, you kick it out, it's 15 to 20 seconds of wasted time. So they get it back, though. Duncan now has a chance. Duncan will work it off the left foot to the middle of the field to Furlong, but knocked out that time by Langham. Quickly back into Duncan. Almost the entire Florence team back there on the defensive side now. Huge collision. No call on that one. Duncan has another chance, but again, the flag is up. And again, celebration as the ball goes into the net, but it was offsides, will not count.
Offsides call.
So the score remains 1-0, Florence on top. Just under 5 minutes to go, and we do have a player down on the field. Looks like we're going to have a stoppage here as they check on her.
Yeah, and she did take a pretty hard fall there. She did a complete somersault over one of the Florence players. That had to feel pretty bad.
Can't quite see the number on her. Coach Bosarge is out there checking on his player. It might be Stringer, because I do not see her anywhere else on the field at this moment. So that gives us a chance to kind of set the scene. 4:42 remaining here at Arrow Field in the 4A Girls State Championship soccer match. Florence leads Bay High 1-0. That goal coming actually in the 4th minute of the game on a penalty kick from Victoria Burnham. So CJ, in this last 4+ minutes, what is each team trying to do?
Well, let me go ahead and tell you that the 10 scariest minutes in soccer are the first 5 and the last 5. That's where most of your goals come in. It's statistically proven every level of the game. You score the most in the first 5 minutes, which is evident with the one goal that Florence was able to tally, and then the last 5 minutes, which is what we're in right now. Right now, Florence wants to make sure that their defensive line is extremely strong, obviously, because 1-0, you have time. You have time to score more than one goal, but it's highly unlikely, especially given the game that we're watching right now. They're going to want to concentrate mostly on defense, with a little bit of emphasis on their offense. If their defense can continue to clear the ball to their offense, and their offense play possession for a little while, then they'll be able to keep the ball off of Bay High's foot. But Bay High wants to press with everything that they have, because like I said earlier, a 2-0 loss is the same thing as a 1-0 loss in this game.
Looks like we've been told that's Amanda Salome that is down on the field right now for the Lady Tigers. Salome, the junior defender for Bay High. Will you start to pull the goalie out to help at all?
Definitely. The goalkeeper for Bay High is probably fixing to start playing more of a sweeper position, which would be is just an extra defender right behind the back line. If I was the goalkeeper, I would be playing well outside of my box right now, because giving up another goal at this stage in the game isn't something that you really need to be completely concerned about, as long as you don't have that equalizing goal.
So it looks like Salome is going to try and walk off the field mostly on her own power, and you already see she's got the big knee brace on her left knee to begin with and holding her head a little bit.
Something that you've got to be really especially careful with, especially in the girls' game, when one of your teammates goes down and you feel like it was because of the other team, not like tripping or anything like that, you're going to come out trying to get a little bit of revenge on the other team. Bay High can't fall into that right now. They've got the equalizer to have their mind on. They can't look to give it back to Florence. That's something that would definitely not work in their favor. So as long as they keep their heads on straight, trying to get that equalizer, pushing forward for that next goal, they'll be all right.
So as we get ready to return to action here, Florence will have the free kick, and they have the lead with 4:42 remaining. Burnham will take the kick as they whistle it back into play. That one knocked out by Jenna Duncan for Bay High. So once again, it's a throw-in for Florence, and no rush for them to get the ball in. Anderson will move it ahead Crossed into the middle of the field, making a play on it is Campbell. Campbell with a chance, but jumping out to grab it, Kendall Adam makes the save. She must quickly get it out, and she does. Stringer tracks it down for Bay High. Stringer will turn, make one move. Nice one to make the defender miss, then get into the middle of the field. Knocked away momentarily, but now a struggle for the ball as Dixon clears it. And Stringer will try and track it down, and Allie Sullivan knocks it out now. That one over to Lindy Tabor. Then knocked out once again. So we are now just over 3 minutes remaining. Bay High with the throw in. This time, Furlon will head it. Courtney Miller tries to track it down. And then also over there is Berea. Battle for the ball, gets free, Duncan turns. Here comes Duncan. She'll set it up into the middle of the field, was looking for Northington, but knocked free.
We have a PK
Wow.
right here. Looked like it was a handball inside the box. This game could come down to this PK right here, so obviously we're going to have a lot of pressure on Jordan Duncan. But she's been looking for this goal from the very beginning. You can tell she's been extremely hungry for a goal. This might just be where she gets it.
Unbelievable. Handball in the box with under 3 minutes to go. So Duncan, who has been battling all game, will now get a chance one-on-one with Elena Turner. A goal here ties things up. She'll put it into the right side and bury it. Jordan Duncan scores for Bay High, and we are tied 1-1 with just over 2.5 minutes remaining.
What's going to be extremely important for both sides right now is to get off of this goal, to automatically, put this behind them. Bay High is going to want to build off of the momentum that they have right now, but Florence is going to want to do a complete counterattack and take advantage of the momentum of this goal. What would be best right now is for both teams to forget that just happened and play with everything that they have for this second goal.
So 2 penalty kicks is how we've reached this point of a 1-1 game. Florence getting their goal in the 4th minute of the game. And then Bay High getting theirs with just over 2 minutes remaining here in the second half. 1-1, 2 minutes exactly left on the clock. So again, the ball played to the middle. Northington goes for it, can't corral it. Reebok knocks it to the center. Kicked over the head there by Miller. And then back out. Now a chance as Kayla Anderson has room to work on the left side for Florence. She will put it into the middle of the field, but leads it out a little too far in front of Tabor. The ball left open. Allie Sullivan now controls for Florence. She will try to cross, and just in the nick of time, Adam comes out to make the save as Campbell was charging. And CJ, she looked like she was not moving as fast as she should have been there.
Yeah, it was a little bit slow off the line. Unfortunately, that happens. Thankfully for her, she did get to the ball in time. And she kept her feet, which is definitely an advantage when you're trying to score the game-winning goal with less than 2 minutes left to play in the game.
Florence trying to put the pressure on now. They'd kind of turned down the offense late in the half, but with a couple opportunities here, they will get a throw in as we're winding down the final minutes of regulation.
This is an especially dangerous throw in because it could be treated like a corner if you have a girl with a long enough throw.
Carpenter will throw it in, gets it over to Sandifer. Sandifer knocked down. But she's actually whistled, I believe, for a handball, so it'll be a free kick for Bay High. kick will be taken by Fillingham. Duncan will try to control. Duncan with the back tap to Furlon, but just a little bit off to the side and knocked out of bounds. Quickly, Florence will get it up. Dixon with the head over to Campbell. Campbell will try and turn and make a run. Has a chance here. Campbell goes to work. Plays it to the center of the field. The turn and knocked away that time by Duncan. She was looking for Tabor in the middle of the field, but Tabor couldn't quite get a shot off. And that will be the end of regulation. 1-1. We're tied between Florence and Bay High, and we've got extra soccer here at Arrow Field in the 4A Girls the 4A Girls Soccer State Championship game. When we return from break, we will have the conclusion of this game. Extra time between Florence and Bay High.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the MHSAA network, go to MHSAA.tv/SBP.
We're back at Arrow Field for the 4A Girls State Championship soccer match between Florence and Bay High. You see the score right there. The Lady Eagles and the Lady Tigers tied at 1, meaning we are in extra time here to decide this game. Little recap of how we got to this point. Florence struck early with a penalty kick in the 4th minute from Victoria Burnham. That gave them the 1-0 lead. They held on to that 1-0 lead until 2.5 minutes remained in the game. That's when Bay High got their equalizer. Also on a penalty kick coming off the foot of Jordan Duncan. So 1-1. Now we go to extra periods. And CJ, tell me a little bit about how it works from here.
All right, well, what we're going to do now is we're going to go to 2 overtime periods. Both overtime periods will be 10 minutes apiece. Doesn't matter. This is not golden goal, so we are going to complete the 2 10-minute overtimes no matter what.
So there you go. The teams will take a short break right now as they try and regroup and come down from, you know, the energy that was those last few minutes. It got real hectic as Bay made their push to get that equalizer. They were able to accomplish it. So would you give the Lady Tigers the momentum going into these extra periods?
Not necessarily. I don't think. I think both teams are kind of going in at the exact same field. Both teams having come off of PKs, which are two very. I mean, if you think about it, they're very rare goals. You don't generally have 2 PKs being the only goals in a game, especially not in the state playoffs. But yes, I put them both coming in on the same playing field. No team having any more momentum as the other one.
So they'll take their short break now as we reset here and show you how we got here. That was the Florence goal early in the game. Victoria Burnham on the penalty kick. She went left, goalie guessed right, but couldn't come up with the save. That is how Florence took their lead. But then Jordan Duncan, the equalizer in the final minutes. She able to punch it to the right side. Goalie left frozen, and Duncan knocks it home. 1-1 is where we're at right now. The score doesn't matter. It's tied, and it is extra soccer here in the 4A state championship game. So they will remain on the same side that they were just on in the second half. Once again, it is Bay High wearing the white jerseys and the blue shorts. On your screen, they will go from right to left. And then Florence, red tops, red shorts, they will go from left to right here as we get ready to go for the overtime period.
This is where your crowd gets to play a huge factor in how we do, because both teams are going to be extremely fatigued right now. They'll come out hard, but they'll start to feel it in their legs. That's when the crowd has to really, really pick it up. Start cheering for your team. Let them hear you. Let them know that you're behind them completely. That kind of stuff is what fires you up and keeps you going through these next 20 minutes.
So as we get going here, Florence trying to push forward. Allie Sullivan with the ball deep down in the Bay end. Knocked back out once again. Cleared by Bay. Duncan will try and track it down, but Langham will knock it free. Here's Furlong over to Duncan. Duncan with a chance. She'll turn, play it off the left foot, and there is Turner for the save. One thing is for sure, Jordan Duncan still has a little bit of energy left in her.
Oh, absolutely. Her foot skills are phenomenal, especially with having such tired legs, which I can imagine that her legs are very tired. She's done nothing but run this game. To still be able to control the ball with her foot, to be able to make those cuts and those skill moves, that's going to be a huge factor coming into the overtime period.
So that time Allie Sullivan commits the penalty on Courtney Miller. So it will set up a free kick coming for Stringer. Stringer lofts it into the middle, headed back and just to the right of the net. That one goes out of bounds, results in a corner kick coming for Bay High, and this will be Haley Furlong taking it for the Lady Tigers.
Haley Furlong, number 00, to take the corner kick.
Second, OT.
Furlong plays it in, ball in the center. Knocked out, but not completely away. Filling game. Can't control. Then Langham plays it out. Now Anderson. A little bit of a scrum here in the middle of the field. Salome back in the game as well. We saw her leave in the late stages with an injury, but she has bounced back and she returned. So here comes Campbell for Florence. Campbell controls to the middle of the field. Has Tabor. Tabor has a little bit of space to work with. Tabor along the right side. Tabor will play it to the middle, but it is deflected out of bounds, so a throw-in coming for the Lady Eagles. Carpenter will handle the throw-in for Florence. Played off of Northington, so once again, Carpenter with the throw-in a little farther away. Furlong will control. Furlong will clear. Being chased now by Kowalski and Reebok, though, for Florence. Will track it down. Reebok places a blast from far out, but her shot goes a little bit too high.
That's a great strike from Reebok, though, and that's the kind of things that the teams are going to need to start doing early on, taking shots on goal, testing the goalkeeper, testing the back line. That was a beautiful lace shot from outside, just going over the far post.
So we are in the first overtime period. Again, we'll play 10 minutes with the teams going each direction the way they are now. Take a small break, flip it, go 10 more minutes. No golden goal. It is whoever is on top after those 2 10-minute periods. If no one has scored or if the game remains tied in any fashion, then penalty kicks will ensue. Duncan that time turns, puts a shot towards the goal, but pretty easy save for Turner.
Actually, I think that after the 2 10-minute overtimes, if it's tied, I think we're going to 5-minute overtimes.
Oh, okay.
And those will be
Those will be golden goal.
Yeah, that's a little bit different from when I played. We went straight into penalty kicks. And
straight after regulation, they would go to PKs?
No, we would do the two.
Okay, you did the 2
overtimes,
10 minutes.
But yeah, I'm sure the goalkeepers are pretty thankful for those extra 5-minute overtimes. It's not what you want to do in a final is go to a PK shootout.
5.5 minutes left in the first overtime period. Still a game time.
Ball played in the middle of the field. Oh, a chance there as Riley Sullivan left it for Tabor, but Tabor couldn't quite get free to play it on net.
It's now when the players start to think back at all of the missed opportunities that they had earlier in the game. Definitely when the ball came through the 6-yard box for Florence to put the 2-0 lead, that's probably in the minds of these girls right now. Also for Bay High, those 2 balls that were sent off of the crossbar, they're definitely thinking about those right now, wishing they would have played those different, maybe wishing that something would have happened there.
A chance here. Ball is free in front of the net, but out of the clutter, Bay High able to clear it. Carpenter will try to get it back in for Florence. Plays it over to Campbell, but the hand goes up and we'll reset here. It's going to be a free kick, and I'm running those plays through my head again now of how close they were. Probably none closer than the one. I think that Campbell had the shot for Florence on the cross and just couldn't connect with it right in front of the net. And then, yeah, we've had 3 balls go off the post, 2 on Bay High shots, 1 on Florence shots. So a lot of close opportunities. The only goals coming on penalty kicks. Here comes Salome. Salome will get it up to Northington. Northington will cross over to Burnham, but now Duncan has the ball, but she will get rid of it quickly and cleared out by Sandifer. Stringer will chase it down, played forward. Carpenter will turn and try and get it out, and she will do just that.
Amanda Salome throws it in for the Bay High Lady Tigers.
So now Salome throws it into the center of the field. Nobody really there for her squad, so the ball moved up by Florence. It is now controlled by Campbell.
Anybody, it doesn't matter.
Campbell into the center of the field. Gets it back. And she will try and chase it down in the corner. Not able to. Goes out of bounds. Bay High will get the throw in. The girls are really fighting it now. You can tell there's not much left in the tank for a lot of them after all they've been through today.
Definitely, and aside from the physically draining.
Oh, ball played out in front. A chance here through the legs, but again, ball goes in the net, but the flag had gone up. No goal.
Yeah, once again, that was an excellent spot by the referees. Definitely have to agree with that call. As terrible as it is for Florence High School, Bay High would have been definitely depending on that call to be made, and the right call was made in that situation.
That's also the 3rd time we've seen an offsides call and an eventual goal, so other close scoring opportunities. But again, no goal, remains 1-1. Bay High will clear. Duncan will track it down near midfield. She will turn and try and get it over to Furlon, but a little miscommunication there. That one will go out of bounds.
It looks like Bay High has resorted to playing with Jordan up top as their target player, looking like they're looking to feed into her, and their outside wings run onto the ball for a possible dish out. It's a pretty good strategy, especially seeing how skilled Jordan Duncan is with the ball at her feet.
Ball played over to Sandifer. Sandifer gets it into the middle, but Stringer able to control for Bay High to Northington. Now Salome and Sullivan in a little bit of a scrap there in the center of the field, and the The penalty and a yellow card will come out on Amanda Salone.
Yeah, I feel like you're fixing to start seeing these girls get extremely physical with each other. It is an overtime, and it is winding down to the last few minutes of this first overtime. You're fixing to see these girls fighting for everything that they've got. Somebody's got to score here, and both teams are definitely wanting it to be their team.
So Burnham will take the free kick into the middle of the field. Carpenter knocks it up. Dixon to the middle. Still not cleared yet. But that will be the end of the first 10-minute overtime period. Neither team able to score there. So we remain knotted up 1-1, and now we will switch sides and go to another 10-minute overtime period to see if we can decide who will win the girls 4A state soccer championship. Once we come back, we'll bring you the conclusion of this game and see if we can crown a champion here on the Mississippi High School Sports Network.
We can get a player up here. Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the MHSAA network, go to MISSAA.TV/SBP.
Welcome back to Clinton High School here at Arrow Field, where Florence and Bay High are tied at 1 goal apiece in the 4A state soccer title game. We are in the second overtime period. Yes, a penalty kick goal in the first half for Florence gave them the lead, a lead they held almost the entire game until just over 2 minutes remaining in the second half, when Jordan Duncan and Bay High answered with a penalty kick goal of their own. That's how we got 1-1. We just played one overtime period, neither team able to score. So we will play another overtime period, and if a team scores and if a team is leading at the end of this period, that will be it. No golden goal. They will play the entire 10 minutes. And if we do not have a winner from there, CJ, we move on to more soccer.
Even more. We will then go into a 5-minute golden goal period. If no score at the end of that, another 5-minute golden goal period. If there's still no score at the end of that, we go straight to penalty kicks.
So we flip sides now. It is Bay High moving from left to right on your screen, and then Florence going from right to left. Ball played in. Turner is going to chase it out, going to let it roll to her in the box. She'll put it out from there. Here in the middle of the field, Sandifer fighting for it. Played up. Again, Turner will make an aggressive play to come get it before Duncan has a chance. Burnham lofts it up into the middle of the field. Campbell will head it to the back end, and then played out from Jenna Duncan there.
What's going to be key in this this second 10-minute overtime is seeing which team figures out to let the ball do the work first. Definitely, whichever team figures out that passing is the way to go and kicking the ball fast, kicking the ball hard, as opposed to running and getting in these foot races, whoever figures that out first, in my opinion, will probably be the team that comes out on top.
Tabor trying to create a little space over there, gets into the middle of the field, then headed over, being chased by Riley Sullivan. That one, though, will go out of bounds. Sullivan will have a throw in.
Number 27, a throw-in.
Now Allie Sullivan kicks it in the middle. Cleared by Bay. Tapped out to Stringer. Stringer will turn. Makes a move on Reebok. Stringer still in possession. Gets it up to Duncan, but cut off there by Ashley Langham. She's the last line of defense before the goalie. Nice play there by Langham. Now Victoria Burnham. Back to the middle of the field. Duncan giving chase as Reebok will knock it smartly out of bounds. So this time played into Duncan. Duncan will get it out to Kowalski and then quickly cleared again. CJ, we haven't seen too many really good scoring opportunities here in either of the overtime periods.
Yeah, these girls' legs are starting to get really tired. You can tell the speed of play has slowed down quite a bit, and also the touches on the ball are kind of getting a little bit sporadic. Balls aren't going necessarily where the players mean to put them, and that comes with fatigue of your legs. Also, the game is becoming mentally draining. So you build up this game, especially if you're a senior, you build up this game to be your last game, to beat what's it. That's mentally draining enough, but then to play 80 minutes and then have to turn around and play 20 more minutes is something that you probably didn't prepare yourself for. It's going to be mentally draining. Even if it's mentally draining, it's going to be also physically draining as well. So these girls are doing a good job of still moving, in my opinion. And hopefully we'll get some scoring opportunities created soon.
Yeah, we should point out we're over 90 minutes into this soccer match right now. Over 6 minutes remaining in the second overtime period, as Stringer is marked by Reebok. Stringer trying to create a little bit of space, plays it into Duncan. Duncan will corral, turn, make a shot, but it'll be high and too wide. CJ, it looked like she could have taken another dribble or two before she had to make that shot, but she saw an open space and just quickly took a swing at it.
Yeah, it looked from here like she had a little bit more time. Maybe she could have taken another touch on the ball, maybe even just kind of teed herself up to take a little bit of a better shot. But she's tired just the same as everybody else, so I'm sure she just wants that goal, wants the security, hang on for another 5 minutes, and then get out of here. But looks like that's not going to be the case.
So now Florence will have a throw-in coming from Kayla Anderson. Goes right back out of bounds, right back to Anderson. She'll throw it in as Tabor works. And again knocked out of bounds. So slowly moving up the field. Anderson this time again, a throw in to Tabor again. Tabor now in the corner. Gets it in the middle of the field, but cleared there by Duncan. But back into the middle. Collision between Dixon and the defender in the box. That'll go against Haley Dixon, so free kick coming up for the Lady Tigers. And you can start to see the teams for the 4A Boys Championship game are lined up around the field. That one's coming up next between Corinth and the Bay High Boys. So that game was actually set to start right about now, but will definitely be pushed back as we wait for the conclusion of this game. Again, 6 title games will be played here at Arrow Field today. This just the first of an entire day of action, and it's been a good one. And it continues to be as we're knotted up at 1-1, just over 3.5 minutes remaining in the second overtime period. Florence has it with the Anderson throw-in up to Tabor. Tabor will try and turn and create. Not a lot of room to work with there, but cleared out to Sandifer. Sandifer into the middle of the field. That's where Campbell will take a look at it. Campbell will take a shot on goal, but she will go high and over the post. So here the kick comes out, played back in. Giving chase there was Tabor, but Kendall Adam comes out to make the save. She'll get it upfield. Again, as you said, the pace of the game has definitely slowed down as fatigue sets in. But now Haley Dixon with a chance. She'll cross it. And that one is knocked out and will result in a corner kick coming up and maybe a scoring opportunity for Florence.
Yeah, a corner kick, especially this late in the game, especially this late in overtime, is going to be a huge scoring opportunity for Florence. What I would want to do if I was in Florence's position is put a lofted ball around the 6-yard box and have my tallest players go in for the header.
It'll be Reebok that takes the kick. The left-footed boot is into the middle field. It goes off the post.
Again.
And then knocked out. She almost, on her own, curved that one in. But it goes off the post, and then the throw-in goes out of bounds. So the goal kick coming up for Bay High. And we're in the final 2 minutes of this second overtime. Stringer will play it here. Stringer being marked by Dixon. Gets it up, knocked down by Reebok. Reebok will flip it over to the middle. Campbell with a chance now. Campbell over. Tabor! Tabor! A goal! And Florence has taken the lead here in the second overtime period. Played up to Lindy Tabor, and one touch, she finishes it.
That was an excellent goal by Tabor. Came at just the right time. Got free in the box, looked up. Key thing is looked up and just placed the ball exactly where she wanted to be.
Unbelievable. Just when things seem to be slowing down, a quick strike for the Lady Eagles results in a Lindy Tabor goal. So now they will try and hold on. We're in the final moments here of the second overtime. If they can keep Bay High from scoring, they will win the 4A state championship. Duncan now will try and do everything she can to keep her team in this game. Duncan across, played into the middle and cleared. Now Kowalski. Kowalski will try to corral it. That played out to Furlon, and Furlon with a high loft. A scary shot, but one that goes out of bounds.
Very dangerous ball. Right now, Florence wants to waste as much time as possible. They want to clear every single ball. There is no possession left in this game for Florence. Right now, they want to boot the ball up the field, send it to corner flags as best as possible, make Bay go run and chase it, and then try to put it back on goal. By that time, there won't be that much time left. So as long as they can keep the ball up and out, they should be good.
And there's the whistle. The Florence Lady Eagles are your 4A girls state champions. They take the field in celebration, winning in double overtime. A late Lindy Tabor goal captures the championship for Florence, and another one for head coach Gray Massey today.
Yeah, congratulations to Coach Massey and to the Florence Eagles. Well done, great season. To Bay High as well.
Unbelievable finish here. Florence over Bay High for the 4A Girls State Championship. We'll be back in just a minute to recap this game.
Line up as soon as possible for presentations on medallions and trophies.
Wow, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the MHSAA network, go to MHSAA.tv/SBP.
Welcome back to Arrow Field here in Clinton, Mississippi, and what an exciting finish to the first game of the day. The Florence Lady Eagles defeat the Bay High Lady Tigers 2-1 in 2 overtimes. A late goal coming from the foot of Lindy Tabor to secure the title for Florence. They huddle up in celebration right now. Coach Massey with his girls with another championship for them. And CJ, we had 2 penalty kicks that got us to overtime, and then an amazing goal there in the final moments.
Absolutely, and that's the thing that's one of those picture-perfect moments for Florence. One of the things that you only dream of or see in the movies. So that's definitely a very exciting end to these seniors' high school career and to the rest of the girls' season this year. But you can't discredit Bay High because being led by Jordan Duncan, who is a phenomenal player, they really gave Florence High School a run for their money. So congratulations to them for getting as far as they did. Congratulations to Florence High School, and congratulations to those players that are either going to continue playing in high school or on to the next level in college.
Yeah, that was an amazing first game. Congrats to Coach Bosarge and Bay High on an amazing season. But it is Coach Massey and Florence, the 4A girls state champions, as they celebrate their title today. All right, coming up after this game, we will have the 4A boys, Corinth taking on the Bay High boys. Stick with us here. We'll be back in just a little bit for more state championship action on the Mississippi High School Sports Network.